I missed you too.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
응답하라 여친. Go to the into the she.
팍 to the 경 to the Jew. Ooh. Okay, Jane.
It's good to be back.
Oh, you are officially 40.
I am officially 40.
My 40s girl.
Yes.
And you have traveled to the motherland and come back to me. I can't wait to.
Yeah.
I want to hear every juicy detail. Tell me.
So we just got back from Korea.
Yeah.
It's been about a week.
The family went.
The family went.
The kids and all.
The kids, and then my parents were there.
Oh,
I had
your
a cousin
parents too.
who got married in Korea.
Oh, that's right. There was a wedding.
Yes, and then it aligned with the kids' midwinter break.
Yes.
So we thought, what a great opportunity to tag along because the kids loved it when we went about 14 months ago.
Yes.
October
it didn't feel
23.
that long ago,
No, it felt like just a year ago.
Yeah.
But we felt that, it was a different season. We're going in the winter time. We're going with my parents. And so I felt that there would be a lot less pressure to do all the things.
Yes.
And also because we did a lot of the touristy stuff.
You already did that, yeah.
With the kids.
And this was more like
time.
family focused.
Yeah, so it was a lot more
relaxed.
Really?
That's
back.
great.
And because we had already done it as a family before, we kind of knew what to expect. We knew like what we didn't need to do again and what we wanted to do again.
Lovely.
And so we went back to one of the same hotels.
Okay.
And then, so we were there for a total of 11 days.
All right.
Like 10 nights. And that was an appropriate amount of time. I think, toward the end of the trip, we were like, you know what, we're ready to go back. It would be so nice to stay longer, but you're on vacation mode, so you're kind of aware of that the entire time, like the life that awaits you back home.
Yes.
And Ben has to take off from the office. I always feel guilty about that. And then the kids have to go to school. But it was great because the first time we went, the kids missed about 2 weeks of school, which is a lot of school to miss.
Well, but they're not in middle school yet.
No, they're not in middle school yet.
It's going to happen. It's elementary school. It's doable.
Right. And this is Bennett's last year of elementary school. And they only missed like 4 days because we pulled them out a little bit early before midwinter break.
Yeah.
So it was
we milked that
great.
too when they were in elementary school. Now it's tougher with Gavin being in middle school, right?
It was just like a really, really good time.
Oh, okay. Out of 10, what would you rate it?
Probably an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10.
That's high.
Yeah.
That's very good. Okay. What were the minuses?
The minuses were the kids are older, so they have definite, stronger opinions. And I think their expectation, we didn't think about managing their expectations. Like the first time they went to Korea blew their minds. It just blew their minds and we packed it in with activities.
Now they're like, we've been here.
Well, it was like last time we were here, we were doing like new activities every day. And so maybe like
for them, the relaxation part of it was boring.
Yes, exactly, right? But like typically for family vacations, what they love most is to just hang out in the hotel, have slow mornings, and be on their screens, right? But this time they were like, what are we doing?
Wow. That's usually my kids.
Yeah.
Anywhere we go. Roll out of bed, be on their pads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't have to. So it's like where you are doesn't really matter.
Wow, that's interesting.
This time they were like, what are we going to do?
That's surprising.
New.
Okay, Korea.
Like a new water park or a new amusement park. And you know what? I think this time we knew we're going for wedding, right?
Right.
So out goes an entire day.
Yes.
And then we knew, okay, there are some. Yeah. We just want to experience the life in Seoul.
Yeah.
And so we had planned to just get really acquainted and familiar with the subway system. And so that's what we did. It was like we were just,
get into
going with the morning commuters and, exploring different neighborhoods. But that was kind of the vibe for this trip is like, oh, today we're going to go explore this neighborhood and we're just going to hang out there. And we'll just, go to cafes and we'll just kind of let, we didn't have super, super concrete plans.
Right.
And
the kids got spoiled from the first trip.
They really did.
Yeah.
And those are the exact words that we had to use when we
Yeah.
sat them down midway and say, listen, this is a family vacation.
Yeah.
Last time everything seemed new because it was new for all of us. This time we're going to do some things that are familiar, and not every day is going to be super scheduled, and we're going
Yeah.
to find fun in that too. So
Yeah.
after we got that out of the way, then everyone was on board. And
Okay.
yeah. So
Wow, that's
But-
managing expectations.
yeah, but there
having
was a
that
point
conversation.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh my gosh, is this trip going to be just the pits, like miserable because
They were
these
whining.
kids? Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
that's
I'm like,
such.
and
That's
I told him, I was like, you know
kills
what?
us. Yeah.
I went to Korea with my family one time. One time, and that
I
was it. I
know.
said, it's a lot of expense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Mhm.
time off. You guys are so lucky you can
privileged.
go
Yeah.
when you're excited to go, and we're going to see your cousins. We're going to do all these things that you guys want to do and what we wanted to come back for. So let's just have a little bit more gratitude. And I was saying that a lot. I was like, we need to practice. Let's practice being thankful. And so
I totally,
yeah.
totally feel that. Yeah.
So, of course, Ben and I were like, we need to come back without the kids. and just do
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
that
You
we
guys
wanna do,
deserve it.
right? Because
yeah.
we didn't do any nightlife, and
right.
that was fine because we would come back home and we're just absolutely exhausted.
You and
right?
I should do a Korea trip.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah, a girls' trip.
fun would that be? Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, our favorite thing was just like, going out and eating and
The
just kind of like
food.
the first hotel that we stayed near Namdaemun.
Nice. I
And
like Namdaemun.
So many, yes, it's very like, yes, there are tourist catered hotels and stuff,
right.
but it's not as touristy as Myeongdong.
Oh yeah, Myeongdong's
And
gotten.
it's a little quieter, and there's a lot of restaurants, like mom and pop restaurants that are just matjips that
yes,
the locals
beautiful.
go to,
Okay.
right? So right around our hotel, there was everything, like any food or dish you can imagine.
Nice.
There was like choge
Because now they say
kalguksu.
Myeongdong, that street, is a tourist trap.
It is.
It's-
It really is.
yeah.
And it's like we could only do one day of it, and
Yeah.
they're like, we're
Yeah,
good.
one day is enough.
One
We're
day.
like, okay,
Yeah.
everything's overpriced. Everything is for the
It
tourists.
is geared toward
Yeah.
tourists to give you
Yeah.
that Korea
Yeah.
experience. And then when we were there, so we were there one evening and then one afternoon. But in the evening, it was just tour bus after tour
Oh,
bus lined
yeah.
up, right? And then you have these big groups that are
Right.
gathering, that are either arriving or, leaving to somewhere. Yeah.
What made this Namdaemun hotel nice?
the
Location was
the
good.
location was great because it's central. It's
Uh-huh.
near City Hall. So it's
Nice.
walking distance to the Myeongdong walking
yeah,
street.
that's right. Because I could walk there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and to the Namdaemun Market,
Nice.
which is a lot. That's like the best market to buy stuff. Buy
yes,
anything,
I
right?
should have started there
Mm.
and bought all the gifts and stuff.
Because they
But
have a lot
I-
of cosmetics.
They're
and
better priced.
they're better
Yeah.
priced. And lots of accessories and like
Myeongdong traps you when you just feel like you have to go there, but then Namdaemun later I found out on my trip, I'm like, oh, I should have started here.
It's very, very local.
Yeah,
and
and the
that's where
prices
I
are-
remember going
yeah.
with my grandma.
And
know,
I
when I
felt
needed
that-
shoes,
yeah.
or pajamas, and
And I felt like yes, of course, tourists everywhere, but the
Mhm.
price was better there too.
yes. And then when you're at Namdaemun at the market, there's all these little storefronts or that you can go into, right? And then
Yeah.
it takes you into another like market
Yeah,
area
inside, yeah.
and it's very, very
I mean,
local.
you
They're
could
just like,
yeah, you could tire yourself out just going to Namdaemun Market.
absolutely, yeah. And so that was really fun.
Was there any drama on this trip?
There
Any
was
juicy?
no. Thankfully, there was no drama. I mean, Ben and I had talked about what family we are going to see.
Oh, that's
And
good. Yeah, you
my-
got that all figured out
yes,
already.
and because my parents were with us for my side of the family, my parents managed that.
Yeah.
So, we stayed at different hotels, my parents and us, because my dad has like he has his friends to see, and they have.
Oh, very.
He's
good.
like so busy
they
when
have
they
their
go to
own
Korea. They have their
lives.
own lives.
Mhm.
So then we had a couple of days with just hanging out with my mom because my dad was like
Oh,
off doing his thing.
cute.
And then my mom helped manage the like our side of the family, like who we need to see. And so she made sure that that was nice and limited. So
Nice.
we did 1 day trip with my cousins who they love to eat and they're great at being hosts.
Oh, love it.
So I felt like this is such a Korean thing, right? But they like hosted us the entire day. They rented a van. I mean,
Mm.
it's hard to like get around in Korea because of the
Yeah.
traffic and
Yeah.
they all if you
And you're not gonna drive there
you're not
because you're not
yeah.
accustomed.
And
That's a different driving style.
some of my mom's family lives in Seoul, like in Myeongdong and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but these cousins lived, in suburbs.
Mm.
And so they had to drive from the suburbs into Seoul, rent a van.
Yeah.
They picked my parents up in
Nice.
Namdaemun, and by then
Wow.
we were in Gangnam, which is like south of the river. It's like
Right.
an hour drive, right?
Oh, wow,
From
they were so
Namdaemun. Yeah, they were so
accommodating.
accommodating. And then they're just thinking, my cousin's husband is just thinking like, I really want to show them a good time. Like what are we gonna do? So we
Oh.
went to Daebudo, which is like an island in Ansan, like
Oh,
Ansan City.
wow.
It's like in the Yellow Sea. So it's on the western coast of
Fancy.
off the western coast of Seoul. And there's all the lots of seafood, right? So
Oh,
we ate
nice.
seafood. And then in the afternoon, he took us to this place to ride ATVs. But can you imagine, like, my parents, they're like in their 60s, and my mom, like, they're
Wow.
not like
This is
adventure
not what they were
seekers.
expecting. Yeah.
No. And it
Wow.
was cold, right?
Oh.
And the guy who took us, um, he's like an ex-military guy. Like
He's like
the
Dex
embodiment
from
Dex, but
Singles
very, very
Inferno.
old school.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like the way he talks to us is like he talks down to us like 반말.
Oh.
And he's like a few years younger than my
Oh, he's more
parents.
like Junso.
Kind of, but very, very like
Yeah,
상남자.
아저씨. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
상남자, like tough
Ooh.
guy, right?
Yeah.
And he said this is actually very dangerous, and
Ooh, scaring you.
he gave us like, he scared us right off the bat so that we would be like careful and
Okay,
cautious,
okay.
right? But we're all wearing helmets, and then the kids, I'm thinking like, what are the kids gonna do? The kids just sit behind or in front, and I'm like, this would never happen in America. Where
Yeah.
the kids don't have proper
Right.
like restraint. They're just allowed to like sit in the behind an adult and grab it or sit in the front.
I mean, that's considered safe considering in Vietnam, like they have family of 5 on one motorcycle.
True. Yes. And it was very overall, it was off road, but it was like dirt roads, and there were no like cliffs or anything like that. But we were I forget how long. We probably did it for about an hour and a half, like almost 2 hours, and then my cousin fell off the ATV
Oh.
making a turn. I think she like didn't slow down enough, or
Oh.
yeah, so that was like the only
Was she in a lot of pain?
scare. Like my whole body was sore the next day,
Oh
and I
my
worried
God,
about her because I thought,
really?
because you're cold and
Oh,
you're
your body went
tense.
through a shock. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, if I feel like this, so sore and
Imagine my
tired, imagine,
parents.
yeah.
Oh.
She was okay, thankfully, but yeah, so that was probably like the the extent of the
But that's
crazy,
very
but
sweet.
it was
He
very
wanted to
sweet.
like. He's probably thinking like, oh, these Americans that have done everything. Like, what do I show
I
them?
know. I
You
mean,
know.
I said I never done this in my life,
So
but
there you go.
yeah,
He did it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very memorable.
Mhm.
Yeah, the wedding was really nice. Oh my gosh, Ellen, I made sure that, we didn't take any bright colors to the wedding,
Oh.
but we still wore too much color to the wedding.
You wear too much color? How does that happen?
Well, I was wearing like a
Oh, a printed dress.
blue dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids wore like neutral colors.
Yeah.
Like Bennett wore like a, like a yellow, like a pale yellow
I'm sure
shirt,
it was
and
needed.
everybody was wearing black and
Black
gray.
to the wedding?
Yeah. And they looked like
What, they
they
going
were
to a
at a
funeral?
business conference or
Yeah.
something.
Oh.
Like that was the vibe.
I don't know. Do you think you did it wrong, or do you think that's just...
It's just weird. I'm like, it's not, like weddings are festive
Yeah, here.
occasions,
Right,
and
but...
we like to see guests dressed
Yeah.
up and fun.
Yeah.
But no, not here. It's like there, it's like blending in.
That's true. Okay.
And yeah, I just made a lot of, I think, interesting observations about Korea.
Now you're like a seasoned Korea traveler.
Yeah, I feel definitely more seasoned.
Could you live there?
No. I said that so fast.
I barely got the question. I mean, you and I both say we could not live there. Why?
Bennett, who turned 11 in Korea, he said,
Korea. Oh, that's right.
will-
That's right.
Yeah,
you
he
guys
kept
have
saying,
multiple
I
birthdays.
will be living here.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was
What
like,
makes
really?
him want to live there? The food.
The food, yes, definitely. And he just, I
Loves
don't
the
know. Like,
busyness.
I asked him, like, what is it? And his answer every time was, it's Korea. This is my land, my
Motherland.
people. Which was really funny because I don't
cute.
feel that
Yeah.
magnetic pull, but I think it's my cynicism,
You
over
know
the
too
years.
much.
I know too much.
You know too
yeah.
much.
So
he has.
all-
This is his. He has been able to make his own, and from a kid.
yeah.
Like in a candy store.
Yes, exactly. And so for the kids, what we've been telling them, since before the first time we went to Korea is this is where, your ancestors and your grandparents, this is where
Right.
they're from. So we're just,
They fell in
this
love.
is your land, this is,
Yeah.
your home. And for us, we feel definitely, even more so. Of course, I didn't realize it when I was a kid either, right? But
Yeah.
now going as an adult, you're just thinking of all these things of like, do I belong here? Like, do I really belong here? And it's just that
Do you
weird
remember
experience.
what you felt like as a kid going to Korea?
Yes, and when I went to Korea, it wasn't a tourist experience at all because we were staying like in one bedroom in my grandparents' apartment, all 5 of us in one bedroom,
Right.
sharing a
These
bathroom.
kids have it so good, Jen.
I know. Yeah. Granted, like my grandparents were living right in Seoul, so but it was very much, even when I went as a kid, like when I was 7, I stayed a whole summer there. But it was very much living with my cousins
Right.
and having, I had to do piano lessons in Korea. I did VBS at church, and then I did we went to the art center to do art lessons, and it was just like life in Korea.
Yeah. I know. You know what? You could get that out of Bennett's system, just putting him there for,
yes.
a month in
summer.
So
yeah, we said, do you want to come in the summer? And you could stay with, one of the relatives.
It.
I said, that's probably the best way for you to learn
Yeah.
what it's like to be here. He said, yeah, he wants to.
He said, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he said he totally would.
My
but
kids
he
would
said he would
never.
want us to be there with him. And I said, we
that's
can't
not how
do
it
that.
works.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I definitely wouldn't want that. No.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it was weird because we were mostly, I think the first time we went, everybody was talking to us in English. And this time we went, I don't know if we looked more Korean or
Oh.
nobody talked to us in English.
Your same family.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's
well,
interesting.
I guess they got familiar with the fact that you can speak Korean. Well,
maybe.
I think so.
Maybe. So it was interesting.
I think it's
because we still felt like even before we went, we were like, okay, we need to strategize. What places and spaces are we gonna speak English and be American?
Oh, you mean the
stores,
everywhere,
restaurants, wherever,
people.
or hotels, and then we were like, and then we have to decide like where we're gonna be like. Korean.
It's probably because you yourself felt more familiar, and they sensed that
maybe
you seem seasoned.
Yeah, there was one time where we're trying to figure out if we're getting on the right train, and I was. hesitating at the turnstiles, and one of the attendants was in their English, like, excuse me, can I help you? Can I help you? Yes,
Oh.
where do you need to go? And I was showing him my Naver
Oh,
map. I'm
yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
trying to get on this line. And he's like, yes, you go in here. And he was speaking to me in English. And I just chuckled because I was like, I must have looked like such a lost foreigner.
I actually try to look extra lost to get help.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so that's a good trip. Oh, did you get any skincare
I didn't get any skincare. No.
treatments? You didn't do any of
I
that?
didn't, just because I didn't feel like it was
That kind of trip.
that kind of trip.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
I don't know.
You
See, like,
managed
I
it
really,
well.
yeah, I don't know why I didn't want to do it, but you know,
Family, like your mind.
family. I didn't want the downtime. You know what I mean? The downtime of
Oh,
like
that's
getting
true.
getting
That's
whatever.
true. Your face is gonna be blotched
Yeah,
for,
I didn't want to be kind of like taken advantage
Yeah.
of like being told I have to do all these things.
Yeah, that's true. The sales of
Yeah,
it.
so I just felt like with the time I had being limited, I was like, I just don't think I could have a lot of discernment on
Yeah.
what to do, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be sold on something. We did one family hair day, and it was
Oh,
nice and familiar because we went back to the same salon.
nice.
And
What did
so
everybody get? A cut?
I just got like a deep conditioning treatment, and
Nice.
the ladies were shocked because they said, "Do you do this at home, right?" And I said, "No." And
You have really good hair.
they said, "Oh, you don't?" I was like, "No. Would I do this like once a month?" And they were like, well, ideally you would do it once a day." But
What?
I know. So
What deep condition treatment once a day?
I didn't even tell them I don't wash my hair every day because I think they would have like fainted.
Yeah.
But so
You
I
have
didn't.
great hair, Jane.
Well, since I bought some products there and I've been like, applying it, and I have been washing my hair every day
Wow.
because I need to. Like, you put all the products and then it's like your hair's like oily, you know what I mean? The kids Bennett got another perm,
Nice.
and then Ruby dyed her hair blue again.
Oh.
And
Wait,
then
so you said Bennett didn't like the perm, or
he didn't like so now he likes it. But in the
was
beginning,
it really poofy?
no, it was very wavy. It was so cute, and I loved it. And he was underwhelmed because he thought
It was gonna be poofier.
he wanted it to look like rotini pasta.
Oh,
Like
dang! Well, our
curly.
kids wanted the opposite things.
Yes,
Our kids were traumatized. They would have liked.
they probably would have liked.
So I
They
didn't
should see
realize
Bennett's
Sawyer's
hair.
hair took so well. It's so poofy.
I love it though.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
they
got
look
a
like little
cloud on his head. Yeah,
broccoli heads.
broccoli head.
So cute. So
Or
that's
though-
what Bennett wanted.
I guess Gavin wanted more of a Kongyu, like wolf
Oh
cut
yes,
look.
okay.
But I'm like,
With
I
the
can't put that
layers.
wave in. Like, it
Mm.
has maybe like we put a perm in and then it dies down,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
his
They
hair
don't
was
grow
so
out.
straight. So
So now it's curly.
now it's curly, but I'm blow drying it for him every day.
That's the thing. I am doing so much hair stuff on both kids, and
I
I'm
mean,
like,
it's
what am I
easier
doing?
to do
Yeah.
because his hair was stick straight,
Uh-huh.
and I couldn't do much with
Yeah.
it. But so this way, at least I can see
Yeah.
what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and it's easier. But I'm like, did I just make more work for myself?
You did. I did like a blue hair mask on Ruby yesterday because the blue's kind of fading
yeah,
out.
yeah. Blue, and when blue fades out, it's not. It's
Just
greenish.
like so much work. It is
yeah.
greenish. And so she goes, yes, she like loved it because the blue got more intense. And
Yeah.
then she goes, so are you going to do this for me every day? And I said, no, not every day.
Definitely not.
Maybe
every day.
like once a month.
God, Jay, these kids are our kids. They have no idea.
It's kind of like they're kind of monsters that we created.
I
because it's like so
know.
cute when you do this. But then the upkeep.
What? Why? I know Adonis literally was like, "Why? Why did you even listen
So
to
then-
their needs
I know.
about their hair?" Like,
Ben also got a nice haircut, and then they dyed his whites. Okay.
to what?
And
Black?
it's like a brown.
Okay.
And it was really funny because I'm usually here, it's like I'm the one that's doing all the things, but
Yeah.
in Korea, like I was the only person that didn't
Do too much.
do too much, and I could wash my hair right away.
Yeah.
But I was managing all three of them, being like, you can't wash your hair for like 48 hours,
yeah.
you know, and even when you do, you like come out and then let me put the
Right.
like a
You
conditioner
have to
on
put the
there.
product, leave.
Let me,
Yep.
I was like, what am I doing?
I know.
It's so much
It's
work.
too much work.
Yeah, but it's it's not going to be. It's a phase right now, right?
Right.
This is like the post Korea glow, and then once it fades,
Everybody get
and we
back
go
to
go back into
reality.
like our American low maintenance routines. But yeah, so it was funny.
You know, it sounds like now you have it like all figured out. The traveling to Korea.
I think next time we're like, we don't need to stay in Seoul the whole time next time.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need to see family. Maybe we can just go to Jeju and Busan and do like more vacation-y things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little nervous on the plane rides because of all the stuff,
every
happening.
freaking plane. Did you see there was a plane that
The
got hit by a bird?
Another one that got hit by a bird? Are you talking about
the nose of the plane was crushed in? I'm like, how
gosh.
does that happen? Is it a paper plane?
Yeah. There's like news stories every day.
It seems like every single day.
So when we were there was a plane that in Korea. There was a fire.
Flames.
Yes,
they got everybody out.
From the it was a battery pack. They think.
Wow.
They think, right? So then there was so much screening for that at the airport when we were leaving.
Wow.
I was like, do you have any of these like battery
It was
packs?
Somebody's. They think.
I don't know, and so that freaked me out.
You know, all these airplane stories made me remember when you used to tell me, like when we did a episode and you were telling me how when you were little, you had that fear.
I did have a fear.
And we were like, oh, that's so irrational. Like that would never happen. Airplane is one of the safest places. And now every day we hear some, terrible airplane story. And I think of your, I was like, Jane was seeing the future.
It was scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's like, you can't even like rest easy after you hit the ground because a lot of these things happen after landing, right?
Well, you know that one the plane in
Toronto
Seattle.
one?
Did you hear about the plane in Seattle?
Yes.
The Japan Air hit the
Yes.
That happened while Adonis was at the airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Did
and
it
that freaked me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, his flight was delayed. He's like,
God.
oh my God, I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I like texted him about it and he goes, wait, is this why my flight is delayed? I'm like, probably.
Yeah.
And then because we're friends with the port commissioner. I was like,
right.
Hello, Sam. What you doing?
I'm always texting Sam before a big flight.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the vibe? What's
like,
the vibe with
hi,
TSA?
Just checking in.
Yeah.
What are friends for?
Mm-hmm. And then just,
how's the atmosphere in Korea about it?
Yes. About what? Travel or I don't know.
Because
but
that flight that killed people, that didn't happen too long ago.
It didn't happen too long ago.
In everybody's mind.
You know how we don't expect, well, I'll speak for myself. Like I expect nothing from going to the airport. I do not expect a positive experience at all.
Right.
I brace for
the worst,
like, the most unpleasant.
And that's why I think we're so anxiety ridden because we're like, we have to be ready.
Yeah.
For all the terrible things.
Everything,
that could go wrong will go wrong.
I'm like, they're going to yell at me. Like the TSA people are going to be yelling at me. Don't put the shoes in the bins or put it in the bin. Whatever. It's going to be different rules every time. But they are the same in Korea.
What do you mean?
They are the same. Like they are. I don't know if it's like this persona or
I'm so over you attitude.
Yeah, but family of 4, like me, Ben, and the kids. Like we're clearly traveling as a family of 4.
Yeah.
So we're going through the first like passport security thing, and there's nobody else in line. No one else, right? Okay. The person.
I don't like where this is going.
The employee. She goes, 두 줄로 쓰세요. Stand in 2 lines.
Okay.
We're like, what? We're like, we're confused because there's only one attendant. Like, where's the other? Yeah.
Right.
And she looks at us. She's like, 2 lines. 두 줄로 쓰세요. So we're like, okay. I guess one. You take one kid. I'll take one kid. And then Ben comes, and then she's like waving the two of us over. The two like. Only Ben and Bennett, only the boys went forward, and then she's like waving at us like, come on. And I'm like, is this like a game you like to play? You just like to like wield power, like this arbitrary.
It do feel like that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Airline
and then
folks, yeah.
And like, we're coming with American passports. You're just assuming that we're Korean and you're speaking to us in English and I mean, speaking to us in Korean, I mean. But the lack of I don't know. I don't expect them to be polite.
Right.
But it was just this, it was patronizing.
Yeah. There's
no line. Like it is not a chaotic.
Right. I think you nailed it.
And there's only one attendant.
They love that.
But it's like, dude, they just want to, they're like, stand in 2 lines. Come, hurry, come, hurry.
Like, if you hate
and
your
I'm like,
job,
you told us to.
Yeah. Get a new job.
I was in a fighting mood. Like, yeah, I was in a fighting mood. And then, have you eaten at Myeongdong Gyoja?
Yes.
It's delicious, right?
Love.
They are so rude.
I know.
I was like, you treat people like this?
And
I'm like, do Koreans endure this? Koreans in Korea endure this?
Oh, the last time I was at Myeongdong Gyoja, I forgot that, or it had been like, how many years has it been? Quite a few. Last time I was in Korea, Sawyer was a baby, so 8 years.
Yeah.
So I forgot that the usually they set it on the table.
Yes.
So I could not find the chopsticks. I was like,
where is it?
I'm like, usually they're always in like a plastic bin.
Yes.
At other restaurants. I'm like looking for it.
Yeah.
Nobody tells me.
No one tells you anything.
And I'm like looking around.
No.
And so this is where I act extra lost. Like,
yeah.
And then finally like somebody's like, here, like pull it from the drawer. I'm like, oh.
But they weren't rude about it though, right?
Well, I think I don't even think it was the people that worked there. I think it was the people next to us. They're like, I'll help you, because they didn't even look to help us. But
okay. So it wasn't the restaurant staff. It was.
But they're like, because they have such long, they're like, let's go.
Yes.
They do that rush thing.
So yeah. And you know,
like
if you
herd
have
the cattle.
Yes, exactly.
That's what you feel like.
And you come in, the line is so long, but it moves very fast. And Korea is like a land with no patience, right? The people have zero patience.
Especially the line
sometimes
mover,
is good
like,
for
pali,
me.
pali.
Oh, pali, right? And first of all, which is hard. If you have a child
who's tiny in there.
It's tiny. So we get herded up to the 3rd floor, which is where they put some of the bigger parties, and we were a party of 6, and so they told us our table's ready to go in, and there's a pass between the table where we're seated and where the employees are getting the food and whatever. But it's like the biggest walkway,
right?
So Ben is leading the group, and he's trying to go through there.
Yeah.
It's clearly enough room for us to pass by, and then also the workers to pass by. But then one of the workers, he has a tray of food, and he stops, dead looks at Ben and says, 돌아가세요. 돌아서 가세요. Like, go around. But the
dramatics of it.
Yes.
The theatricalness.
I'm like, are you
not
kidding me?
The plates in my hands? Yeah.
돌아가세요.
Yeah.
And so we sit down. Okay. So we're pretty American because
Jane, you're bothered.
I know. This was where I was like in a crazy fighting mood because my parents hadn't eaten there before, and we have, and I really wanted them to eat it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, "Oh, we don't need to go because we go to Myeongdong Kalguksu in LA," and I'm like, "It's not the same.
Yeah.
It is not the same.
Definitely.
You need to go to the original place."
It, yeah.
So we order dumplings, and we order the noodles, and for the dumplings they give us little dishes for the soy sauce, right? But they only give us 2. And we are American. We need to have like one per person, or it's like dirty. It's dirty.
Yeah.
They would not give us.
What?
They were like, 나눠서 쓰세요. They're like, it's for sharing.
That's pretty bad.
Okay? And if you tell that to my dad, he is gonna speak back at you and with 반말, and he is gonna speak back at you, like talk down to, and he starts like talk. I'm my dad's daughter, so I know that when his blood is like starting to boil, so is mine. You know.
They told you, just share what you got.
Yes.
So
my dad says
those
like
little soy sauce.
Yes. They're for sharing. They're just like, why are you so demanding, kind of thing.
Yeah, like just.
I'm like, we're a party of 6,
you get what you get.
And you gave us 2. Like we need at least one more so that we could do 2 by 2 by 2.
So did your dad like what happened?
They gave us one more.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
And then we're trying to see where the water is. Of course, they don't tell you like this.
They don't tell you anything.
They don't tell you anything. And then my dad makes the mistake of, 물 주세요. Please give us water. 물은 저기 셀프예요. The water's like self-serve over there.
Wow.
Then he has to get up and he has to go through that crowded like pass area again. Wow. They're like all annoyed. And I'm trying to like manage. I'm trying to tell my dad like, 아빠, like, go around, like go this way, I was so stressed during that lunch. So stressed. They are the rudest.
Did your parents at least like the kuksu?
They did.
Okay.
They did, and they were like,
thank God.
This is why they're so rude, because it's like take it or leave it. But I will leave it next time. I don't need to go back.
It's so unnecessary.
I do not need to go back. And I told my best friend who's going to Korea in a couple of weeks, I was like, you don't need to go there. It's delicious, but you don't need to go there. I was like, they're just so mad.
Yeah. I will go there. 난 욕 먹어도 밥 먹으러 가.
No,
I love
I
their
will not
noodles
be.
so
I
much.
know.
I will endure it. 난 자존심이 너무 없어.
See,
I have
cannot
no
do that.
pride.
I am like, I guess I am
Jane
a lot
is
more
자존심.
American because it has to come in the whole package for me.
Oh no,
I can't. No, I cannot eat and enjoy something when like I know I was so unwelcome in the first place. I don't like that.
I think it's because I grew up with my mom being like that. 저기 집에 또 먹냐? 또 먹어. 먹어. 처먹어라, 야.
I cannot
that's
do
my
that.
mom.
Yeah.
Just eat it. What else do you
gosh.
need?
Yeah.
You don't need more sauce. you should be thankful to have food. Okay.
But yeah,
it's hope for me.
And I'm like, am I supposed to be weirdly comforted by this because they're so mean to us because they we're just treated like Korean people.
Toxic,
am I supposed to be like
it's the normal.
Because if they were polite, it would be fake polite because they think that we're foreigners. So we weren't treated like foreigners at all.
No. They do not care. They do not care.
No, they do not. And then like a lot of restaurants have this rule, and they're like tight spaces. I should have told you this
samgyetang place to go. It was so good.
Oh yeah, I did think about asking you about that, but
anyways,
a lot of restaurants have this rule where each person has to order something.
Oh
right?
yeah. Especially like they're like there's places also that don't even have a menu. They're like, you're gonna get that one thing. That's
right,
it.
Right. And everyone has to order. Like there's no sharing or
that was a big thing.
And so we did not that was not expected, but it was just a little bit annoying. Yeah. I'm like, these kids are not hungry. It's gonna be just a waste of money.
That's the part that sucks.
Yeah.
I felt bad for my friend that came along on a trip with me, and she was like, she doesn't eat. Like sometimes she likes to skip a meal or like she's just not as
so you can't
food.
sit like she can't sit
like,
with you.
I don't really want to eat. I'm like, sorry. They're like, I didn't know until they said no, you have to order too, and then it's like a full on chicken soup.
Right. I know like, that's really hard.
Yeah, the whole chicken.
But then you're scared not to eat it too because like you're gonna get judged for like leaving it. Yeah. So I felt like that. So I every day I was just like eating so much because. you want to sit down to rest your legs, but then you got to order something.
You did it well though.
Oh, yeah.
With parents, kids.
Yes.
It was a successful trip.
It was a very successful trip. We didn't do any of like the touristy stuff and like wearing hanboks because we did that the first time.
Yeah.
But on that note, we got a question to the podcast from a listener of ours.
Sure.
So she says, I know a lot of people go to East Asian countries with a to-do list that often includes wearing that country's traditional clothing for a photo shoot. So she says, I've seen non-Asians do this in Japan, wearing kimonos for pictures, and especially Korea, non-Asians renting hanboks to take pictures at historical palaces. What are your thoughts on this? Do you feel it's honoring a culture, disrespectful, or appreciation? And does it make it more or less okay if it's an Asian person versus non-Asian person doing this?
You go do it.
Yeah,
it's
an
expected thing now in Korea. The difference is going to Korea, they welcome it. They
welcome
have a whole
it.
Process of it now.
And you're encouraged to do it because at these palaces, that makes the admission free.
And you're helping the Korean economy. Like it's a business now there.
Yeah.
The part that doesn't make sense for me is like when you're wearing, like, I don't know if you saw, there was this whole TikTok. I mean, so this Mexican family threw a party and their theme was being Asian.
No, that's not.
Yeah, that's where you go wrong.
It's a pretty easy, I feel, line to.
And like some of them were in like kung fu outfits.
No.
And then some of them were in the hanbok.
What makes that okay?
And
that's like if
that's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like that's costume playing. Like if you're in Korea and you're traveling to the country, learning the history as you walk through the palaces, you're doing the tours.
Yeah.
And they encourage you, like you're being welcome to do it.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
the difference.
You're being invited. You're being invited to
amongst
do it.
Korean people, they're telling you the process of it all. Like that's fine.
Would I wear a kimono in Japan? No.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I would. But
that's the other weird thing is like I've never felt that I wanted to wear
Exactly.
another. I think it's because I have my own countries, my culture.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've never wanted to wear a kimono. I never wanted to wear the Vietnamese gown. Like, I've never wanted to.
Yeah.
So I'm always like I don't know. I don't understand it. I like this desire to wear another cultural.
The desire to wear hanboks for us comes from. Let's be Korean.
Yeah, that's our tradition.
Yeah.
And it's another thing if you were in another country, like let's say I was in China and a Chinese family was hosting me and they said, we want you to participate.
Absolutely.
And give it to me. I'm like, of course I'm going to honor them.
Sure.
Because they're asking me to. I don't know why this is so hard. Like, why is it so hard?
I know.
And the whole topic of, is it cultural appreciation, appropriation? I think it's really not hard. I don't understand where. I think it comes with white people's desire to, like, have a culture because they don't have one. Do you think that's it?
Yeah, possibly.
I think I've never desired to wear a kimono. I mean, now if I go to Japan and let's say you go to Japan. Or wherever country, and they have the same kind of setup that they have in Korea, like
to rent it and go.
You're coming on a tour through the palaces. You can get your. This is what people do
for the full experience.
Then I might do it just because it's all set up,
right?
And I am a tourist,
right? That's the whole premise.
Yeah,
that's
if
the
there's
whole
a
context.
situation like that, you're basically being invited in to do it. But like in America. Especially when you have Korean Americans that celebrate our own, culture in our own holidays, like that's fucking weird for you to like out of the blue be like, I got one in Korea, so I'm gonna wear it here today for a birthday party. Like,
sure,
it has to have context.
Yes. I mean, this clearly is there would be context.
I'm not judging you for asking, by the way. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
It is a very common question that gets asked, but and because it's so common, I'm always like, I don't understand why this is so hard. I mean,
right.
I guess we're so accustomed to this being part of our culture.
No, but I loved seeing, when we were at like Bukchon, Hanok Village, and like
the white people in
Gyeongbokgung.
the
Yeah,
I didn't
but
mind
it's
that
like
at
not
all.
even not even white people, but lots of like groups from like the Philippines. And also a lot of these the staff at these rental places speak all different languages because they know that they're going to be catering to tourists.
I think the important thing is there's a time and place.
Exactly, time and place.
Yeah, and I don't think it's that hard to figure that out.
You're there to appreciate the culture and the heritage.
Go right ahead.
Yes,
especially
if you're being invited to do it.
Yeah, be invited to do it. Don't
just like
pick it up yourself and be like, I'm gonna walk around in downtown, Seattle in a hanbok because I just felt like it.
Yes,
that's fucking weird.